Welcome to the Real Estate Espresso Podcast, your morning shot of what's new in the world of real estate investing. I'm your host, Victor Menashe. Today we're going to do a bonus book review. Today's book is The 12-Week Year by Moran and Micheal Lennington. The 12-Week Year is a planning book on a new method for setting and achieving goals. The 12-Week Year redefines a year as being 12 weeks long, and with each year you get a fresh new start. That's very different from a quarter. Quarterly planning and execution operates within the context of a 12-month year, and it fosters the false belief that there's plenty of time to get things done. The 12-week year establishes a framework for getting things done in 12 weeks or less. Much like I've been advocating, in 12 weeks you're not going to get a dozen objectives completed. You're only going to get one or two. So their tools are geared towards setting and accomplishing one or two goals, not more. At the root of the 12-week method are three principles. Number 1, accountability. Number 2, commitment. And number 3, greatness in the moment. The 12-week year builds urgency into your plans. There's really no time for drift. If you don't believe me, then answer a simple question. Why do so many businesses generate their entire profit for the year in the last couple of months? Why is the fourth quarter the strongest quarter in so many industries? In adopting this 12-week perspective, we might finally abandon the futile, misery-inducing notion of work-life balance. Nobody can devote enough time every week to work, family, sleep, staying healthy, and everything else. If you telescope your annual focus down to 12 weeks, though, an alternative suggests itself. Balance across multiple years, that is, 12-week intervals, focusing on one or two areas for those 12-week periods, while deliberately dialing back on the others, then shifting focus for the next 12, and so on. Neglecting something as important as your career or your health for an entire 365-day period feels pretty unwise. But when you know you're going to return to it after 84 days, that's different. Let your priorities cycle in 12-week increments. Moran's book has articulated something I've known for a while. Each new project that I undertake, for whatever reason, seems to take 90 days to accomplish. When I've gotten into trouble, it's because I've been doing too many things at once. Making a few millimeters of progress on 8 projects each day means I'm making virtually no progress on anything. When you bring more focus and attention to only 2 goals at a time, you can accomplish a lot more. We've got 6 fundamental roles in our lives. We have our roles in business, in our personal life with ourselves, as a spouse, as a family member, in the community, and spiritually. These are all distinct roles, and it's natural to think that you should have at least one goal in each of those areas. But you can't make meaningful progress on one goal in each area because it's the same thing as doing 6 things at once. It doesn't work. The year-end push is something we really need to pay attention to. Coming up to the end of the year, there's that noticeable increase of energy that's enough to bring to completion the projects of the year. And if we take that same energy and focus and repeat it more often, we will actually get more done. Finally, the end of each period is worthy of celebration and rejuvenation. The reason people achieve less than their potential isn't lack of knowledge. The differentiator is really execution. Most of the breakthrough performance has nothing to do with a new strategy or a breakthrough in knowledge. My own observation is that improvement in performance comes between projects. It's the same as strengthening a muscle. For example, when you do push-ups, you don't get stronger when you're doing the push-ups. The muscle strengthens between the times you exercise. If you have a single project that lasts 5 years, you're going to learn very little. You're going to learn a lot more if you do 5 one-year-long projects in that same 5-year period, and you're going to learn a whole lot more if you do 25 2-month-long projects in that same 5-year period. The learning happens between projects. Your goal is not to live to be 100 years old. You want to accumulate the wisdom of someone 400 years old in that same period. The annual planning process causes a lot of projects to take longer than they actually need to. When you plan in 12-month increments, a house takes a year to build from start to finish. When you plan in 12-week increments, it's actually possible to build a house in 12 weeks. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're going to say a house usually takes about 6 months to build, no matter how you carve up your calendar. But I can tell you from first-hand experience, it is possible to design and construct a house in 12 weeks. I've done it. But it won't happen if you never set that goal. You can probably accomplish most things in a quarter of the time. It's that focused thinking that gave rise to business models like Federal Express. And if you're the least bit interested in accomplishing your goals in less time, definitely check out The 12-Week Year by Brian Moran. In the meantime, have an awesome rest of your day. Go make some great things happen. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.